In this video, I'm going to talk about some entrepreneurship ideas. And why am I doing that? Well, it's because what we discovered is as we got older, we really didn't want to completely stop being involved with business, even though we were really glad to not be employed and be committed to a schedule that was someone else's schedule. We really like being entrepreneurs, and we found it really enjoyable later in life. It's very stimulating and it's very rewarding. So in this video, I want to share with you some ideas about being an entrepreneur to maybe get you thinking that this might be something that you would like to venture into. Not only that, but in this day and age of underfunded retirement accounts, a lot of people need to venture into something else that generates some extra income for them during retirement. And since the birth of the internet, well, we can work remotely now. And so it makes it really an easy thing to do to become an entrepreneur after retirement. Hi, I'm Camille Gaines here and on my website, retirecertain.com. I write about and I talk about here our income stream adventure over the past 15 years or so when we decided we didn't want to rely on just making retirement withdrawals from our accounts. And we looked at more alternative strategies to generate income and or build wealth later in life. In this video, I'll be addressing these entrepreneurship ideas. If you like that information and the thought of that, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the thumbs up below the video, and click that little bell after you subscribe so you don't miss my videos. All right, the very first type of entrepreneurship or idea that I want to share with you is about becoming a partner. All right, so a lot of people later in life maybe have one or two areas that they're very, very knowledgeable about that apply to business. And they may not want to do it all though, or they may need to take on a partner that has another area that's where someone else is an expert. Not only that, but after retirement, it can get sort of lonely. I'm really fortunate in that I work with my husband, but a lot of people don't have that situation, and a lot of people want to be with someone else or engaged from a business perspective after they've retired. And so taking on a partner can be an ideal scenario. This can also be ideal if you don't have investment capital to put into a business, or you don't have a particular skill that you really, really need. The next entrepreneurship idea is to invest into a small business. This is like we see on Shark Tank. There are so many small businesses now. There's just been a huge growth in this area, partly because of the internet, and a lot of people that are investing in small companies are being rewarded for that. A lot of small businesses are being very, very successful. So an entrepreneurship idea may be to invest in several smaller companies that you don't really have to be involved with. And it could be an area where you can contribute but not have to be engaged in the day-to-day running of the company. The next entrepreneurship idea is to buy a local business. You may have heard my story here, how that's what we first thought that we would do when we accidentally stumbled into early retirement. We looked at and really seriously considered buying a couple of different local businesses that were already successful. We thought that made a lot of sense. But here's what happened. After we went to the bank to talk about getting a loan, we saw that we had to secure the loan with our investments. And we knew that if something happened and we didn't succeed with these businesses, we would lose our investments. Not only that, we would lose the business, which would be our new income stream. So we did not want to take on that much risk later in life in particular. In general, we're fairly risk averse. So buying a local business can cost a lot of money, particularly if it's a brick and mortar business, if they have a location. And for us, that wasn't a good option, but a lot of people are attracted to that type of idea, even buying a franchise or opening a franchise in their hometown. The next entrepreneurship idea is to buy an online business. Buying an online business can make so much sense. That's because online businesses typically sell for an earnings multiple of about 3. And while that can really vary depending on what type of company it is and how much money they're making and other factors, 3 is a really good rule of thumb to use. But what I want to mention is when we think about publicly traded stocks, they sell for earnings multiples of, for example, the S&P 500 over 30 as I record this video. Some companies even sell for like 200 or 300 times earnings, whereas you can buy an online business for under $100,000 and you can get that company for about 3 times earnings or net income. This can be ideal for someone that has a little bit of internet knowledge or someone that's really good with managing a team, because you can always hire people to come in and do the technology aspects that need to be done in your business. It's easy to find outsourcers to take care of that for you now. The next type of entrepreneurship idea is to start an online business. You can start an online business for well under $25 if you build the website yourself, as I did at retirecertain.com. It is really easy to get started in that way, although it does take learning about how to start an online business. But it absolutely can be done, and it can make a lot of sense for someone that has the time and has not a lot of capital to put into something like that. Online businesses, I think, are one of the best opportunities, if not the absolute best opportunity now, whether that's from purchasing an online business once you know a little bit about it, or starting an online business. Those are great entrepreneurship ideas, I think, right now. A lot of people feel like consulting or doing some sort of service-based business one-on-one is an entrepreneurship idea. And while it sort of is, it sort of isn't, because really an entrepreneur builds an asset. They do something that allows them to build an asset that they can later sell, whether that's a web property or some type of IP or something else that provides them, or they develop some sort of asset that can be sold. Whereas if you're consulting, you're really just sort of trading your time for money. Please don't think I'm against consulting. I think consulting can be just an excellent way for retirees to generate some extra income. I really like consulting. My husband and I have both done consulting, but I don't think that it gives an individual an opportunity to build an asset that can be sold because you're trading time for money. Having said that, it can be an excellent way to get started doing something and then expanding into an asset that has a marketable value. That's what I wanted to share with you in this video. If you like this information, make sure you watch this video next.